a few weeks after I had the affair and resigned from ministry over a decade ago, I was sitting at home one morning and I was in bad space. And so I picked up the phone and I tried to call my friend Judd Wilhite. Judd, if you don't know who Judd is the senior pastor, Central Christian Church in Vegas. Church of about 25,000 people now. At the time, I think it was 9 or 10,000 people. Judd was one of the few guys that didn't let go of me when I crashed, that didn't turn and run away. And he kept contact with me. He continued to be my friend. And so I picked up the phone. I'm like, man, I'm at the end of myself. And I tried to call Judd, and it went to voicemail. And so I was just left to sit alone. Stacy and the girls were gone. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking about a conversation that I'd had just a few days before where I, just like this son, had been told that my status had changed. And I no longer was a beloved son. I'd be lucky if I was still a slave and my salvation was still intact. So as I'm sitting there swirling in that, loaded gun on the desk, round in the chamber, staring at a picture of the people that I love the most, Stacy and my girls, on my desk, feeling like the pig that I was. And no one was there. No one seemed to care. I seemed so hopeless. It's the most hopeless, alone moment I've ever had in my life. You want to know what happened? God showed up. God showed up. He came for me. And he said, don't do it. I'm still here. And Greg, I know you've given up on you. And I know lots of other people have given up on you. And I know you feel like Stacy's on the edge of giving up on you, but I haven't given up on you. And in that moment, I didn't jump up and start doing, turn on praise and worship music and dancing around and anything like that. All God did was, after a few minutes of collecting myself, was he gave me the strength to stand up, pick up the gun, walk down the hallway, turn left, go into the bedroom, put it back behind the bed, and live for one more day. God showed up and he fathered me. And he's been doing it ever since. He's been doing it ever since. The only reason I'm able to stand up here today is because of my Father's heart for me. And he's got the exact same heart for you. The exact same heart for you. Here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. We've been sold a bad father. Right? God the Father is not the problem. You know what the problem is? The problem is the way his children often represent him or present him to be. That's the problem. See, what happens if the older brother gets to this son first? You ever thought about that? You know what I think? I think he's going to hear what I heard standing on a sidewalk in Raleigh, North Carolina 11 years ago. He's going to hear this. You're outside the grace of our loving Father, and you just need to turn around and go back where you came because there's no hope for you here, boy. And thank God. This wayward son encountered the loving Father first, and he experiences something that is deeper and stronger and more rich than anything that he's ever experienced in his life. The Father's love. So, I'm coming up on 52 years of life here pretty soon. That's pretty sad. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot the hard way. One of the things I've learned about my life is this. Over the course of my life, I have severely and significantly overestimated what I could receive from my relationships with people and severely underestimated what I could receive from God as my Father. In my relationship with God as my Father. And he shows me that more every single day. Look, there are relationship challenges in all of our lives. There's a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, a lot of guilt and a lot of shame in all of our lives, and we're struggling. We're struggling to forgive others. We're struggling to forgive ourselves. I get that, me too. We really, really are. And so what do we do with all this stuff? What do we do? Now what? Now what? And the answer is the same. Regardless of what it is, we need to do what this younger son ultimately did in this story. He ran to his father. And he allowed his father to father him. We need to be fathered by God because, see, God is the only person that can come and fill all of the relational gaps that exist in our lives and stories.